I'm Doug Johnson, CEO of CyberTrust IT Solutions. Today we're going to talk about what to do should you be hacked. Hackers are smarter and more sophisticated than ever. Your MSP and cybersecurity partner can do a lot, but there's a lot of things that you can do to keep yourself safe. We had a client that came to us a couple months ago, small business, and they were not only hacked, they were what we call owned. They had hacked them to the point where they had access to all their email, they had access to the internal network, they had access to the cameras and the microphones that were in their office. They cracked the ISP, they broke into Cox. They changed the username and password from Cox so that they couldn't even access their own internet. It was unbelievable. The biggest thing was they actually took control of their cell phones. They ported their numbers out to another phone so that they could get the 2FA. They broke into Verizon as well. So they got Verizon to be able to, or whatever you got to do to port your number to another place, they, impersonated the client to the point where they were able to port their numbers off to another carrier. So they even took over their cell phones. It's crazy. So that's just an example how hackers are smarter and more sophisticated than ever. They can now break into your cell phones, they can port your number to another cell phone so they can get access to your two-factor authentication. And then they take that information and then they literally post and sell it on the dark web. The dark web is an area of the internet that's not accessible by the general public. It's where hackers and bad actors in the cybersecurity space trade information, buy, sell information. And people really don't know how easy it is to get your information through the dark web. It could be as easy as you've signed up for MyFitnessPal or Macy's or Home Depot, and you've used your primary email address and you've used a password that perhaps you've used multiple places. I don't recommend it at all, but many people use the same password over and over again. So let's say that one of those sites gets hacked. That data is stolen, and then that data is uploaded onto the dark web. Well, now your email address and a common password that you use is available on the dark web to other bad actors. So they can take that. It's very easy to trace your email address back to where you are, and perhaps you even use the same password for your email. If that's the case, they can commandeer your email. You may not even know it. They'll sit and lurk in your email. They could sit there for months watching your email until some sort of financial transaction goes back and forth that may have account numbers in it or talks about paying invoices or transferring money, and boom, they'll intercept it. They'll change the account number in it, and then you've been a victim of wire transfer fraud. You really need a partner that can protect you and fix things when they're broken. If there is a breach, if there is some sort of hack, if there's some sort of nefarious activity going on, you need a partner that you can turn to who can understand what that is, who can investigate it, who can peel back the layers, try to determine what's happened, and more importantly, try to figure out how to bring you back to a place of security, to make sure that all of the digital assets that you own are properly protected. Well, at CyberTrust, we have a process for security. So when we start to work with a client, we go through the security process to identify all of the digital assets and look at them one by one, make sure that the passwords are properly secured, that two-factor authentication is turned on. We do internal and external scans of the network, looking for vulnerabilities. And when those are found, we shore that up to make sure that the network is secure. We also work with the end user. That's really the most important part, because you can spend huge amounts of money on hardware and software, and if you don't train your end users and they click on the wrong thing and they give their password away, it's really kind of been all for naught. So we really spend a lot of time working with the end users and helping them understand what they're looking for, from a cybersecurity standpoint, and then secure the network and then maintain the security. So when working with CyberTrust, we're really bringing you peace of mind, and we have your back from a cybersecurity standpoint. So we're members of the FBI InfraGard. FBI InfraGard is a joint task force between the government and private industry on cybersecurity. So once you apply to FBI InfraGard and you go through the vetting process, which is lengthy, and you're approved, then we receive inside information on what's going on from a cybersecurity standpoint. Many times we receive an alert of something that has happened at some level but has not become widespread. So we can take measures to prevent that from happening to our clients. So we're a little geeky that way, that we're interested in that kind of information and we stay on top of it, but it really gives us a leg up in knowing what to do for our clients. I'm Doug Johnson, CEO of CyberTrust IT Solutions. Thank you for joining me today as we talked about what you should do if you get hacked. Are you concerned you might be exposed? Consider visiting our website at cybertrust-it.com for a free dark web scan to protect yourself today.